Hello Romania, welcome to the Pranic Festival. I'm Pascal Martelly and today I will speak about the bioenergy optimization. The bioenergy is a study of the different energy centers called chakras along the spine, but also related with the different layers that we have in our auric field. And the optimization is the way actually to heal these different layers and chakras in order to enhance our daily life in a better way. Okay, just briefly I will present myself, speak about my Pranic experience, and then we will go through all these different important steps that we need to go in order to really encompass, understand how the bioenergy is working, and actually how you can use these tools, this knowledge, to implement in your daily life some new habits in order to improve this Pranic growth experience. Okay, I'm Pascal Martelly, I'm living in Switzerland, I'm 37 years old, and my background is related with physics. So I have a PhD in physics, and then I moved to neurophysics, neuroscience. We have been studying altered state of consciousness, lucid dreamings, and also deep meditation. And it's through these experiences that actually I could come into contact with the spiritual world. Some guides came here, and this is actually what I'm doing also as a profession right now. I'm a medium, I'm a healer, and this is related with this experience that also I moved toward the pranic state. Because it's starting in 2014, I was doing a lot of healing, a lot of what we call trance meditation. It's really deep meditation, I would say synchronized with the guides. And after a few weekends of healing, I just realized that my body, the metabolism of my body was starting to change a bit. My body was shouting sometimes that it doesn't want to eat this kind of stuff or this kind of stuff, and also my sleeping pattern was starting to change. And after going on the internet and check what's happening, I just realized this is called some pranic state. So it was just for short period of days after some healing weekends. But then I decided a few months later to do the process, the 21-day process in Italy with Henri Montfort and Nicolas Pilartz. And then a few years after, I also went to Remao in Spain, the 10-day process, actually to always implement a new experience, see different angles, and also follow the courses of Jasmine and the two books. So actually I made a personal journey along with the pranic adventure, I can call it like that. And this journey was really a spiritual journey. Okay, and this is one of the emphasis that I would like to give today, is really to see the pranic, I would say, achievement or going towards this goal of pranic state is really a spiritual journey. Because a lot of people, they will just observe the end results to be able to eat or not from the light. But this is actually the last step, and this is not really important. The biggest part, the healing process, is much more important. And actually, after a while, you will feel much more, I would say, one with the whole universe. And you will feel just in peace with yourself, in peace with everybody. And this kind of state is so wealthy, is so interesting and healthy too, that actually afterwards you can choose also to eat or not to eat. But the whole process is to be there and to be in oneness with energy. And this is how we will, I would say, what we will discuss today about the energy and the bioenergy optimization, how to be in the oneness energy field. Okay? So let's start about how the chakras are working. It's like small windows of the universe. Usually we say that in front is what we give and on the back is what we receive. And regarding the pranic food, this is not only related about the love that we can send, but really about the love that we can receive from the universe. And of course it's some kind of circulation. Okay, more we are used to give, more we'll be able actually to receive. But we need also to train to be able to receive it, because within ourselves we are from a divine nature. It's 100% light. But around this light we have a lot of shells. It could be some ignorance, it could be some traumatic events, and all these different layers is avoiding us actually to receive the love from the universe. Okay, some people they see the pranic food really as a way to breathe. It's like bread iron. We need to breathe the prana in order to be filled. I would say it's a bit more, I would say, to be in tune with energy or not. It's like if we're starting to vibrate with more compassion, with more unconditional love, after a while we're starting to match the energy of the whole universe. And more we're able to grow within this energy, more actually we are able to receive the love from the whole universe, until we're able to feed our emotional body, mental body, and then physical body. That's the end of the story. Okay? If we just observing the chakras as windows, if some windows are a bit closed, we are also limiting our experience here in life. For example, we used to say that the first chakra is related with the safety. If this chakra is closed, we will have the experience of being afraid of everything around us. So it could be just by seeing the winter coming, or the night coming, or just a stranger or whatsoever. And if we're able to work specifically on this chakra and upon this chakra, then we will have faith that everything is fine and we are in a, I would say, user-friendly place. And then the whole experience will change. And in order to work individually on every field, we can just work directly on the energy of the first chakra and expand this, I would say, safety or comfort zone experience. And then we will suddenly realize that all the fears we had, they were starting to disappear. So this is how we can heal ourselves to expand our life experience and how to achieve the pranic state. So like I said, this is windows, and more we have the windows open, more we're able actually to receive this energy. This is a way to see the energy, but there is also another way related with the different layers. So we'll start with the outer layer, which is the connection we have with God directly. Okay, if we're able to connect with Him and directly, so just by also connecting to our own divine nature, we'll receive healing and teachings. And when we are able to actually open this layer, we'll just go back to the layer which is a bit more within, more inside. And the next one is called the Buddhic layer. The Buddhic layer is more related with the link that we have the whole universe. It could be with other human beings, but also with the nature, animal kingdom, plants, minerals. And this is also to go beyond the separation experience. Because if we have the impression, okay, I'm here myself and the rest of the universe is outside, I will not be able actually to merge with all this nice energy. And the Buddhic layer is really to go beyond the Maya, the illusion of separation. And then there is the karmic layer. The karmic layer is also actually belonging to the spiritual layers. And these three layers, Atmic, Buddhic and karmic layers, are the layers that we will keep actually after our death here. Because every time we're coming on earth, we are working with our physical body, emotional body and mental body. But these three layers, these three bodies, are actually just an experience, a way to implement, to learn from the spiritual layers. And the karmic layers is the library, all the different experiences that we have till now. It's also a storage place where we still have to work on something. For example, if I had a connection with a person, an interaction, and this relationship with this person was not so maybe nice, not so harmonious, and we had some anger towards each other, it's still here implemented in my energy field. And I will maybe choose to come back on earth to meet again this person and to have an occasion to forgive myself and also to forgive the other person. And then what's happening, this karma will starting to be much more light. And more we are growing, more and more we are able to go further in time. Not only in our childhood, but also in different lifetimes. Until we are back to connect to who we were, maybe in animal kingdom, mineral kingdom, plants, whatsoever, until we were even not born anymore. And then we will have really the whole package. And we just realize also at this time that the time is just an illusion, or is not linear as we can think about it with our mind, but much more vertical. Because what's happening, if I'm able to change in the present moment some pattern, actually it's like moving back in time and changing the origin of this pattern. let's assume when I was a child, when I was 3 years old, an experience with the dog. The dog just bite me, and for example, today I'm still afraid of dogs. So this morning I just went back in the park and the dog starting to bark at me and I'm starting to be afraid. Okay, what's happening here? My physical body has the impression, okay, what's happening right now is what happened 30 years ago. So I need actually to be really present in the moment and see what's happening and give healing at this moment. Or I can just go also giving some healing to this moment. But it's important to go back not only this morning in the park, but also to the child who was afraid and beaten by the dog at this time. And when I'm able to do that, actually I will release all the fear that I've somehow accumulated for dogs until now. So it's like we are always starting to write again our own biography, until the book of our life is somehow perfect. This is why we came back on earth. And I was talking about the 3 last layers of the spiritual, I would say, aspect of our field. But now we can speak about the first 3 layers and how actually we can communicate from, I would say, this incarnated or isolated in space and time experience and our infinite part of ourselves. And this communication is along with the mind, or when we're starting to, I would say, not close the mind, but when we're starting to switch off or calm the mind. Because for me, we are able really to feel who we are when we are able to switch off our mind. Okay. But until we're able to do that with our mind, we need actually to calm down the emotional body and also the physical body. Because if I'm full of suffering in my physical body, I will not have, I would say, the leisure to work on my spiritual layers. So I need first to heal my body. And when my body is fit and healed, then I will have some energy to work on my emotional body. And when only I will feel full, calm, then I will work on my mind, work on my mental body. And then I will work beyond the mind. Because every thought that we have is quite often related with some attachment. If you are always thinking about a person, it's because there is an attachment, an energetic bond with this person. Okay, I'm not speaking about affection bond with another person, but I'm speaking really about attachment. For example, in every relationship, there is a part which is related with attachment and a part which is related with unconditional love. And if I'm able to live an experience with another person only with unconditional love, I will not be somehow separated by the distance or the time. I will just be in presence always with with the other person. So I mean by that, I will not always move back to my mind and think about the person. It will be just an act of being and not an act of doing. Okay? But every time we're having like other thoughts, oh, I need to do that, oh, I'm afraid tomorrow because blah 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 blah. Every time the mind is coming in the process, it's somehow indicating us that there is an experience of separation, an ego experience, as I'm calling it. So we can use actually the mind to understand how we are working and also to heal ourselves every time we're having thoughts, or especially the repetitive thoughts. This is where it's the most important to act directly. And when I will be able to be calm with my mind, then naturally I will move towards the other layers. I will feed the other layers, because it's like we need first to remove the appetite of the physical body, emotional body and mental body. And then with all this remaining food that we can have, we can nourish the other parts. And this is meaning also that with the prana, if we are willing to receive the whole love of the universe and be able to be fed by this love, we need to be like transparent. Okay? Because every time my mind is on an ego experience, I will not be able to enjoy the oneness experience and therefore receive the pranic state. Okay. So, how to improve this experience? This is now the key questions and how we will work for the next part. Let's assume in our daily life we're having 2 different kinds of behavior. The first one is harmonizing, and the second one is consuming. And this is depending on what we are doing, but even more on how we are doing it. For example, I can have a beer, okay, it could be just consumption. When I mean by that consumption, it's because I'm not able to create some balance and there is some frustration somewhere that I need to compensate somehow this frustration by consuming something. It could be some products, some food, some drinks, some drugs. All the addiction, are related with that. There is a frustration somewhere and then we're creating a behavior, a pattern in order to compensate it. But for example, if I'm alone and I'm not really happy about my day and I'm taking a beer, this is consumption. But if I'm going outside with some friends and having fun, then this is completely different. This is maybe harmonizing, okay? So it's less important of what we are doing, it's more important of how we are doing it. For example, we shouldn't say, okay, watching TV is always consumption, because if we are watching a nice, empowering movie or an interesting documentary, it's harmonizing, okay? But if you are really objective about your days, you will realize that there is really two columns during your days. Some behavior which is not related with harmonizing, which is really somehow to compensate some kind of pattern. It could be conscious pattern or unconscious patterns. So the idea here to optimize this energy is really to empower all what is bringing you energy. This is harmonizing behavior. And to decrease, to change the habits which is somehow destroying a bit your energy. Because every time you're moving your awareness outside of you in order to experience the lack of something, you will deplete your energy. And every time you will work, I would say, on yourself and working with a high frequency, something bringing you happiness, joy, teachings or whatsoever, it will bring you energy. So before to be able to sustain your body with prana, you need maybe to sustain your mind just by reading some interesting book, meditating, related with the emotion body. You need also to feel it, like to having some shared moments with some friends, being happy, maybe for example playing an instrument. All this kind of behavior, this is somehow a way to feed yourself, okay? We used to say that the Pranic people, they don't feed themselves, they don't eat. Actually, it's the reverse, they're always eating, because they were be able to connect so deeply with all the different experiences in life that at every moment they take the chance to be fed. It could be just by looking at a beautiful landscape, it could be related with enjoying a smell, a piece of art, a song, whatsoever. It's just being able to feel that our soul and all the different layers within ourselves can somehow expand about all these nice experiences around us. So the work is really from within and just expand it and remove all these different layers of ignorance and traumatic events, which is somehow avoiding us to receive all this energy. Okay, so we have seen there is two kind of behavior. There is the harmonizing and also the consumption behavior. So as a good exercise, maybe you can today just take a note and try to make a column. So you just put a line in the middle of the sheet of the paper, and on the left harmony and on the right consumption, and just write down all the different aspects of your day related with these two different kind of behavior. You will be surprised. And then the next step, of course, would be how you can change your habits, because I'm sure that we are our habits. Before to create a habit in our life, we had some thoughts about something specific. Then these thoughts, they were coming again and again, and then we have creating some values out of these thoughts or thinking pattern. And then from these values, we wanted to have some kind of behavior. And when we prolong this behavior for quite a long time, then it's starting to be a habit. And then these habits will define who we are. So it's really important to master our habits. Let's assume an example. We just taking, for example, John. John is a guy, he's working his whole day at his office, 8 hours, and when he's returning home, he's having half an hour before for example, to take his dinner. And during this half an hour, he can choose maybe to just sit in front of the TV, eat some chips and drink some Coca-Cola, or he could take just his basket his shoes for running and go in the forest and have half an hour of sport. Okay, this is just like half an hour doing a whole cycle of 24 hours. But if we just prolong this behavior after 6 months, the first John taking some, I would say, junk food will not be the same as the person, the John, going in the forest every day to have some jogging. So just half an hour will change completely the life experience. So if you're able to be the master of your own habits, you will be the master of your life. And like we have seen, to have habits, we need to have different values, and we need first to change the thoughts. Because the thoughts are at the beginning of everything, all what we are just sending towards the universe. It's like an antenna. We are here and sending information towards the universe. And what we are receiving today from the universe is what we have sent yesterday. Okay? This is quite interesting. But even more interesting is what you want to receive tomorrow. And this is related with the present moment. What you will right now, or what you will do right now, send towards the universe. Because the universe is always like a mirror, and you will not be able to change anything. For example, if you meditating the morning and you're just having this experience of being fully loved, we'll speak about meditation a bit later. This is really important for me, and I would like also to share a specific meditation that I'm really enjoying every day. If after the meditation I'm experiencing the abundance of love, I will just spread it around my place, around my auric field, and send it to the universe. And all the people around me, they want to smile, they want to have fun with me, and the whole universe will be peaceful. If at the reverse, I'm somehow having a problem in my life, I'm having a bad night or a lot of stress during the day or whatsoever, and I'm just sending the information in the universe, the lack of love, the universe will say, are you sure you're sending this kind of information? Okay, that's fine. Just bring the information back. And then the whole day it would be hard to find a parking place, to find a quiet moment during the lunchtime, or to meditate peacefully in the evening or whatsoever. So it will be always some kind of in and back interaction with the universe. So if you're able to master what you're sending towards the universe, you will define what you will receive from the universe. And this is again starting with a thinking process, a thought process. So be aware of what you're sending in the universe. There is also another aspect about that. There is also a difference between the conscious part that we're sending towards the universe and also the unconscious part. If we're observing the sea level and we're observing an iceberg, the upper part of the iceberg is at 10%. This is the conscious mind. And the lower part of the iceberg, this is the unconscious mind. This is 90%. And even if I'm willing to send this kind of information in the universe, but there is another kind of information which I'm sending unconsciously, then I will actually experience this part from the universe. And this is quite important to go back, see what's happening inside myself, within my unconscious mind, and change it. Bring it consciously here, and just change the programmation. For example, if I'm having a first chakra which is closed, I will somehow be insecure. I will feel really unsafe, whatever is happening. It could be related with the darkness, with the winter which is coming, other people around me, whatsoever. But if I'm working directly on my first chakra and sending a lot of love, a lot of, I would say, safety feelings, it will expand. It will open up these windows, and then all the fears that I had before, they will just starting to disappear, and it will change completely my daily life. And this is what's happening. I could have a lot of fear on the background. Maybe, for example, I have been having some traumatic event in the childhood, and it's still acting here. But if I'm able to perceive them, then I will be able to change them. Or I can just send the intent to heal them, and even if the information are not coming consciously, it will still make the magic of changing them. And this is why I would like to introduce a specific meditation. I call it the open heart meditation. So it's just moving your awareness here in the heart chakra and just sending a lot of love. Okay? Because if you're able to love yourself, you will be able to love another person, you will be able to love your country, your work, whatever you're doing in your life would be, I would say, from the beginning a success. Because if you're completely independent, your smile will not be related with the weather or related with your boss or some other colleagues that have some problems in their life. You will be just smiling and fulfilled and happy within yourself. And this is actually the goal that we are all moving towards. This is how we can grow spiritually. It's just by releasing all this limitation in our life. And the soul has a lot of will actually to expand himself, to take more light. But sometimes we're having some traumatic events or ignorance patterns or limited programmation, and we can work a lot around, but we are not able to actually find directly the problems or the solution of it. But we can also, even if we are not aware consciously about what's happening, just by sending love here, we can use this transformation energy in order to heal all what is needed. Because our soul has much more knowledge, basically he knows everything, and he also has a specific list about all what needs to be changed in our life. Okay? But the only missing part here is because there is not enough transformation energy. And this transformation energy is really love. So just by, in the morning, sitting quietly, or maybe it could be with some soft music, and just bringing love here, it will change completely your life. Because you will, from one part, connect to the 3 spiritual layers, but it will also heal all the different other layers in this incarnation, emotional, physical, and mental body. So I really encourage you to find a small windows during your day of 10 minutes. It could be just after waking up, just before the breakfast, so you're still with a nice energy from the night. Sit here, you can place your hand here or just on the side, and keep your focus in your heart chakra. And you can bring gratitude, feelings, joy, or just unconditional love. You need to somehow grasp this feeling, feel it deeply, and just try to visualize this expansion in your physical body, but also in your own auric field, in your whole auric field. So it means that after this meditation, you will, in your energetic field, expand all this gratitude and love in the universe. And because we have seen that the universe is really like a mirror, then it will send back to you even more abundance. Because if you are in gratitude about having nice weather, nice friends, then the universe will do the same. It will send you even more good friends, even more good weather, and it will be just an amazing experience. But it has to start at the beginning from within, okay? And if there is some kind of fear pattern or anger or whatsoever, the hard step is really the first one. It's just to get rid of this maybe negative experience and just trusting the process. Just by bringing more love, then after a while, these nice positive thoughts will take over about the negative one. And when this machine is working, it will be some kind of momentum. And then you will expand your awareness and your spirituality, and then you will experience more and more the oneness experience. And this is for me the pranic state. This is to move towards this goal of being one with the whole universe. Okay, so we have been speaking about the meditation, the open heart meditation, about the different habits that we can have in our life. So in this case, this is important to be the observer of our mind. We have seen the different chakras that we have, that it's also important to have them, I would say, open and also connected with a different flow. And we have been spoken about the different layers. Now I would like to speak about how to actually work on them directly energetically. Okay, we have seen that we can, I would say, blindly just sense transformation energy by just sending love here, but we can also work more specifically on some aspects of our life that we would like to improve. For example, if I'm really shy, I will maybe have a problem with this chakra, the throat chakra here. So I can work this one. So I could do the same. Just bring love here. I visualize a lot of nice, loving energy here coming within this chakra. And after a while, you will really feel some kind of expansion, also some kind of release, because sometimes we're having what I call crystallization. Crystallization, it could be related with some emotion that has been stored in the physical body or the energetic body. And when we bring enough love energy, this crystallization will starting to disappear. And when it will be moving away, you will feel it in expansion. Okay? So you can just bring love here in your throat chakra, or you can also work specifically on some experiences that you had, for example, a few days before. If the day before you had some problems, I don't know, with the cashier, you were to the shop and somehow you experienced some anger related to the person selling you your products, then what's happening? You can come back in the meditation with this time, with the previous time, and just sending back a lot of love. And all the limited programmation who has been activated during this time will be healed. Okay? We can speak about limited programmation or soul wound. Okay, there is a list of different wounds that we can experience in our incarnation. This is related with the book of Lise Bourbeau. She speaks about injustice, treason, to be rejected, to be abandoned, and humiliation. And actually I would like to add 3 more. There is the guilt, there is the lack of acknowledgement, and the solitude. Okay? So all these 8 different soul wounds will influence actually our personality, our character. Because quite often we don't want to experience what is painful. That's normal. But we will create a strategy in order to avoid some kind of pattern. For example, if I'm having the soul wound of being abandoned, I will create a kind of dependency. If, for example, I'm in a couple and I would like to be sure that the other person is not abandon me, I will create some kind of behavior, so I will create a dependency in the other person. I will bring a lot of gifts, I will bring a lot of energy, I will be always here, and trying actually to take the responsibility of the other person. And also to create like a gold cage around the person. So the person will feel completely empowered when the other person is close to me, and if the other person is not close to me, he will be completely lost. This is the idea of creating the dependency of the other person. But this is a strategy that I have maybe created in order to avoid to be abandoned. So just by observing all these different kind of soul wounds, you will see how you communicate with the whole universe. You will actually access to this lower part of the iceberg and work with it. So you just realize, oh, I have this soul wound of injustice. I can bring it here consciously, send a lot of love, and then what's happening? The sea level is starting to go down. And for me, the spirituality is really to actually decrease the sea level until we are able to see the whole iceberg, and by that saying that we are from the divine nature and we are conscious about it. So without any ego, that all the cells, all the thoughts knows that we are really from the divine nature. And for me this is really, it could be a long way, it could be really a lot of cleansing process, but this is the end achievement that we are looking for. And just by working with the food, with the pranic nourishment, this is a really interesting tool actually to get there. Because if we're able to heal our emotional body by working with food, actually we can work on our physical body and also our mental body. And when we're able to be, I would say, transparent with these 3 first layers, then we can experience at every moment the 3 other layers of our beings. So it means we will not be here in the ego experience, but we'll be in the oneness experience. Until everybody is accessing this oneness experience, it means by that we will having the self, the higher self, which is a bigger part than the me here and now, the separation experience. Then we'll have, I would say, a lot of people moving towards this new paradigm, moving towards this new kind of food. If we take a person which is still eating like every day some meat, unconsciously he will take maybe some fear, maybe so the suffering also of the animal, and it will be a bit harder for him to move towards this freedom. Okay, but it could be not only food; it could be related with different kind of behaviors. If a person is always angry, it's costing a lot of energy, first of all, and then it's also the experience of separation. So you need to be really aware, or all of us need to be really aware of how we interacting with the universe, because what we are giving as a seed is what we will receive back from the universe. So of course we would like to have the best from the universe. So we need to be aware of that. And I would like to say the shortest way to know ourselves is really to meditate. It's really to be quiet within ourselves. I've tried a lot of different techniques, a lot of different options, also a lot of different meditations, but the one I'm really fan of it is really the open heart meditation. And then when you feel that you have really also an open heart on the back, so you're able to receive the love from the universe, then you need also to move with different chakras, with different paradigms. The next one would be maybe to be connected with the spiritual world, to connect with your own spirit guides, and also with ascended masters or God. And then you will have to connect also to your higher self. This is really some energy patterns related here, and you will have to be able to experience yourself not from within the ego experience, but from your higher self. The higher self observing the physical body here on earth. And when this journey is starting, then you will just realize how easy is it to receive love from the universe. But until we are there, then there is a lot of work. Okay. So working with the meditation and also maybe sometimes healing one chakra after another will just bring you toward this achievement. Okay. Just check. Okay, there is just one last point that I wanted to speak about. This is about actually the course that I will give the next year. I've made a 21-day process. I also made a 10-day process, and I could see two different kind of strategy or behaviors that we can have related with the pranic food. And what I could really observe is a lot of people that they are somehow inside the transformation process of the physical body, but then what's happening? The physical transformation is blocked because all the energy is moving towards the emotional body, and then the body is starting to lose a bit weight, more weight and more weight, and then the process is like a bit blocked, and all the energy that we have every day, this change, I would say energy for changes, is not used to heal ourselves, but is used for the pranic food. So it's better actually to use this energy to heal yourself, and when your frequency is higher, then change the programmation in your physical body. It will implement a completely different pattern. So the next year I will start to give some courses, some process if you want, of two weeks, but it will be 1 week, 2 months or 3 months, and then another week. And during the first week we'll have 3 main aspects covered. The first one is really deep healing. When I say deep healing, this is really holotropic breath work, this is regression, going back when we were a child, going back when we were born, but also in different lifetimes. And work also specifically on soul wounds, on the behavior that we have related to our father, mother, sister in the couple. So we'll have to be completely independent. Okay? So it's really deep healing. And then it will create a habit of working on the physical body to bring more energy. So it will be a mix between Tai Chi, Yoga, Qigong, something like that. Also the 5 Tibetan rites. I call it Tree of Life. So it's a way actually to bring energy from the universe and also work with energy. And then also to create a meditation habit. But this meditation will be really specific. It will be related with the connection with the spirit. Okay, we can meditate within ourselves, but if we are able to meditate with the 3 other layers, the 3 spiritual layers, then somehow there is much more impact on it. I would say there is 3 kinds of meditation. The first one is really to bring the mind on one specific aspect. It could be focusing on the breathing or focusing on the candle, but it's still from the mind to the mind. So it's still, I would say, the hamster moving in his wheel. We are not moving beyond the mind. The second meditation is to take distance from the thoughts. Okay, that's good. Maybe we need first to control a bit more the mind, so to reduce, I would say, the dance of the monkey mind. And then when we are able to create some kind of cluster, some kind of frame for the monkey mind, then we can take distance from this frame. Okay, this is the second kind of meditation, but it's still related with the mind. So we need to go beyond this step. And this is the third kind of meditation. This is open heart meditation, or we can really meditate within our divine nature. This is energy place which is like 10 centimeters above our head. This is, if you want, the 8th chakra. And if we're able to bring our awareness in this place and just feel what's happening here, we'll have what we call a shower of stars or light. It's really like giving teachings and healing at every moment. And just by bringing our awareness here is opening this door. But before to be able to open really wide open these windows, we need first to be able to be transparent, to be or to have really, I would say, thin or communicating layers within our etheric body, emotional and mental body. So the other meditation are also important, but it's just steps. The third one is really to connect to your higher self, to connect to your spiritual beings. And this is where the Pranic journey is starting, not before. Okay, so there is 3 kind of habits that I would like to create during the first week. Is a way to learn ourselves how to heal every aspect of ourselves, to create energy work, like yoga if you want, and then meditation. And then 2-3 months later, we will have really the programmation on the physical body. So it's where we'll have also the dry fasting. Because we used to say that 1 day of dry fasting is like 3 days of water fasting. And then it's also interesting because in the water we have a lot of memories. We are like 80% of water. And if you know a bit the work of Emoto Matsuro, he has been working on the memory of water, and it's actually good to work on it directly. So we don't need to go in the mind or to know everything. We can just, I would say, do dry fasting, heal a lot the water that we will have after this process, after these few days, and then change completely our frequency. And then what's happening, we'll have also to go within ourselves and communicate with them, and just change the programmation that I need food to survive, and all other programmation which is not necessary or needs to be removed in order to be in the pranic state. And this will be the last week after 3 months. And it will be also some kind of conscious decrease of nourishment during these 3 months. But the idea is really not to lose some weight. If there is some weight loss, then there is a problem. So that's better to get back to more vegetables, more fruits, in order to stabilize it, and work specifically on the emotional aspect, which is taking a lot of energy. Okay. So I hope I covered a bit the bioenergy optimization. If you have questions, just contact me. Could be by Skype, by phone, also through emails. I will just post below my website. Right now it's in French, but it will be in English soon. And the next year I will also give two formation, two courses to process if you want, related with pranic food, and it will be given in English but also in French at the same time. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. So thank you, Christiana, to having me the opportunity to be here present with you energetically, and have fun with the rest part of the Pranic Festival. Okay, thank you, have a nice day. Mitakuyo Yasin.